And to talk about what comes next in this case, we are joined with the Director of Research and Training at SafeDefend and a former crisis negotiator, Dr. Gregory Vecchi. Good to see you. Good morning.
Thanks for having me.
Many developments in the last 24 hours. Let's start with the person who was detained. What are police looking for in a person of interest, and what kinds of questions do you think they would ask him?
Well, they're first and foremost, they're going to try to connect him with the best evidence they have right now, which is the doorbell video of the masked person. If he is in fact that person, relationship to that person, and his relationship to Nancy.
Let's talk about this surveillance video. What can law enforcement learn from these images? The person is almost completely covered up, but we do see eyes, we do see facial hair.
Sure, there's a lot they can do, and I'm actually real excited to see where this goes with the technology. If you think back to other cases like the Unabomber years ago, where that was just a sketch, and they were able to identify him later with that. Currently, like if you have a skull, you can rebuild the face. The same thing you can do now with AI. And so what I'm looking at them to do with this is to look closely at the face, closely at the eyes, the eyebrows, the mustache, and then use AI, other forensic technology, to basically remove the mask and kind of create a likeness, not unlike a sketch artist would when a witness is explaining information that they witnessed, that they saw.
And it seems you'd be able to figure out height and weight as well from the video.
Certainly, that's even easier. You don't need AI for that. The layout of the front porch area pretty much will give you what you need for that. If you look at the tiles that he was standing on, if you know the dimensions, let's say they're 12 by 12, you can pretty much figure out his foot size, his shoe size, his height. You can compare that with the arch. They certainly can get the dimensions of the archway, and then essentially use that as a way to figure out his height and maybe even his weight.
How quickly will we be able to hear that, do you believe?
Well, it really depends on how much the FBI and their partners need us as the public and the news. They're not going to just release information for the purpose of releasing it. They're looking for us to help them, and they have to have that balance between putting out information that might become an issue. And an example of this, again, is like you're looking back at, I think, 2002, the sniper murders in Washington, D.C. Law enforcement put out, it was a white man in a white van, and that wasn't the case at all. And so they have to be very careful to have enough confidence before they'll share information where they need our help and the help of the media.
Given the latest developments, where does this investigation go from here, do you believe?
Well, I think the focus obviously is going to be on the person at the front door. That's their best evidence. I mean, obviously, he's definitely more than just a person of interest. I think there's going to be a lot less emphasis on the ransom, the kidnap for ransom theory. I just don't think that is credible. But they're also looking at still at the family. They're still looking at connections. The guy who was stopped south last night, he was a DoorDash driver, from my understanding. And so maybe, he might have done a delivery. That might have been the reason for the stop. But basically, they're following many avenues of investigation, many of which we don't even know.
Dr. Gregory Vecchi, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Stay with us for continuing coverage on the search for Nancy Guthrie. We will bring you the latest details on air and online at cbsnewyork.com.